11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
All right, there we go. So this is all about patch collecting. So if you're a Patreon and you got the pre-orders in, let's talk about what patches you want. Oh, you don't say.
I'm going to say, if no one else is going to speak up, I guess I'll take all of them.
Okay, well, then there you go. That was easy.
Show's over. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Well. Yeah, I guess it's everybody's way of saying they don't care which one they get.
I mean, quite frankly, I just kind of jumped in just because I'm not super particular. I'm just happy to get whatever. I just want to make sure I get one of the Wii ones. You have enough of those.
Okay, well, then you do have an interest or a preference. Should be no problem. There's like 7 of them, or 9 or 10 maybe. A lot.
Yeah, I just jumped in for support more than anything else. I'm not picky. I just like new stuff.
Right on. Yeah, I figured not too many people are gonna care, but sort of an extra. But since it's possible to let people pick, might as well leave a potential for it. So I did some trading with Clover earlier, just to complete a couple of sets, or a set, I guess. Oh no, 2 sets. So we both have full sets of the Wii ones, and then I can't ever remember the name of that Night Sight company. Night Eyes, probably, something like that. And yeah, he has extras of the ones, and I had extras of the others. Anyway, so there's no reason to have that set, just to do it, I guess.
Well, yeah, sets are always important.
Yeah.
Just like you said, just to do it. That's what I tend to when I collect stuff. It's like I want to at least have one of each, and then I kind of get OCD about it if I don't. But that's part of the fun.
So we'll see. I have time still. I don't know when the things will be done. So whenever they're done, we'll be a lot closer to, then I'll be sending them out. But I could probably set up some sort of a form or something to let folks that are interested, pick like 5 or something. And then, because really the difficult part would be if everybody had a preference to figure out from the preferences which ones, right? So I'd probably ask everybody to give me like 3 to 5 and then have all those and then go through in order of like whatever you call it, like the order that people purchased them, start at the beginning and then take those people's preferences first, I guess. And then, then it would what's the word? Then you'd get some people that would be picking some of them, and then there'd be fewer and fewer as you get down the list, and then people's first and second choice might be gone, and then you'd have, more use for the 5 or 6 choices or 5 choices or something. But again, that depends on if there's a bunch of people with a bunch of choices.
Right. What's your plan like for if people don't pick? You're just gonna grab a couple, toss it in.
Probably not a couple, because then it just gets into be weight. So yeah, but some amount, and then or some, maybe if they bought like 3, some people bought 3 the pre-orders, send them a couple. I knew I was going to be paying for shipping on that anyway. But if somebody bought 1 and I would have put 2 patches in there, then that would be like shipping the weight of 3 patches. That might increase shipping by $1 or something. Might. I mean, I don't know. I'm just being prepared. Oh, okay. So everything arrived in good order. Yeah, I wasn't sure about. I think I put in a Woods into there, and I wasn't sure if the Woods doll would get there in good shape or not. Yeah, well, this is super thrilling. Like I said, I didn't know if anybody would be all that interested or who would show up.
Well, yeah, I showed up ready to fight. Like, someone fight me.
Well, the thing is, there's only a couple that I have one of, and who knows what people's preferences are in those ones, The ones that people might want are the ones I might have 10 of or something, so. But anyway, yeah, I'll probably just end up doing some kind of a random thing. There should be enough stickers for everybody to get a sticker or 2. And then, patches for all the Patreons, I think would be easy enough. The trick is to know who are Patreons, because there's no way I can't remember everybody just by looking at them or anything. So I don't keep a list or anything. I don't know how to identify who is both, like who's a Patreon that also purchased something, other than to give them a chance like this to email me or fill out a form or something.
You saying you don't have an Excel spreadsheet that has all your Patreons on it so you can keep track of them?
No. And then,
kind of database?
I mean, I guess I could do something like that, but the problem is that even if I did, if they're using, whatever, like this name over here, and then they use that name over there to purchase something at the store, I wouldn't know that it's the same person or that they're using 2 names. Because not everybody uses just a name or anything.
Yep. Yeah, I don't use my name like publicly. But then if I buy something, obviously I got to use like my regular name. If only I could get a credit card with Meg42 as the name, then I'd be great. I could use that as my billing address.
I don't think my name's the same, but I know the email address is linked to it is my username.
And that would be a thing too, people's emails, having to keep track of everybody's name and emails, and then maybe a username, and then maybe addresses also.
Yeah, but, I mean, honestly, I think that's weird that they don't make it like some kind of, you can just export like a big list. So when you have the Patreons that are, I don't know, I forget what all your levels are, but like the ones that are, you get sent a sticker or something, you have to, every time someone jumps in, like you just have to say, oh, here's a new person, and then you go find a sticker or something for
them. When you have your Patreons, there's a way to manage like the list or whatever, but it's like it'll be everybody's name, and then you can go to that list and go like who's current and who's not current, or you can say what level they're on, because there's like say there's different like Patreon levels or whatever. So you can say like who's but on what level or whatever, and then it'll also tell you like who's not on it anymore, like who was a Patreon but isn't anymore. So it'll tell you, you know, if somebody was Patreon quit, then they're still in the system or whatever. So it'll tell you from like the past or whatever, which I guess is useful for things. And then the addresses and stuff is only if people put it in there. And I don't really use Patreon addresses for anything. So I think I may have. I know I've looked at addresses in there. So I've sent stuff to Patreons before, I guess. And yeah, then there's a way that you can go in there. It's kind of a clunky. You have to go in there, and I have to open it up on one screen and then have my shipping software stuff open up on the other screen. And then, you know, drag and drop everything over. And then if there's a way to do that automated, I haven't looked for it or I didn't pay attention to it, but to have the names export, I guess. I mean, it's possible. I just haven't done it, so I haven't looked. But I guess it's possible. A lot of times when you have a filtered list like that, they'll give you an option to export the list, and then you know, put that into a shipping software or into something else to ship, I guess, and give it to somebody to fulfill a list or something.
Yeah, that's crazy. I guess I just assumed that it had something like that because
it actually probably does, because there's a lot of people that send people stuff for their Patreons, and I'm sure there's a way to facilitate that doesn't make it clunky. But I guess I like to say I haven't done it, so I don't use it very often for that. Most of the time, what I do is I'll have the different. There's like a Patreon. There's 3 different Patreon codes, basically, for like the different Patreon levels. So I'll give them a Patreon code if they want to use it. And when they buy something from the store, if they use the Patreon discount, then I know they're a Patreon. And then they get a discount, and then I know they're a Patreon, so I can send them extra stuff. But then that's how the store knows that somebody's a Patreon. Now, does the store keep track of who used like a Patreon code? Like, I don't know, maybe, but I don't do that, so I don't use the store for that, so I don't know. I don't keep track of everybody's data from the store or whatever.
So you just look at it like a one-time thing. Like if an order comes in and then you see that it has code, 10% off or whatever, then you know to.
Yeah, I don't go back and harvest that or put that into a database or anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm hoping that you know who I am, but I totally forgot about the Patreon thing when I got the pre-order patch. I just did it normal.
Well, and I didn't think to put in there like when you're ordering, put in that you're a Patreon or something. Although no, I did, because there was a Patreon code that people used, so I'll know some of them, because some people did use the Patreon code to get I don't know what it was, a couple of bucks off.
Yeah, it was a couple bucks off because I went through the email, but I don't think it actually took anything out of it. I think it's something on my end that never really went through.
Oh, well, I know some of them showed up as a different amount, so I don't know how it worked, but and I don't know who all used it, but that should be some indicator, I guess. But I'll probably come up with some sort of a form, because it's easy enough to do, and that way nobody had to be here today to be able to pick or whatever. And mainly it's just a way for people that want to spend a minute or two going through that list of patches or whatever and to pick 5 of them, so that at least I'm giving them 1 of 5 that they might be interested in, instead of just randomly, what if they hate green and I send them a green one, or they hate blue and they get a blue one.
Or they hate Glock and you send them a Glock one.
Yeah, exactly. So it's easy enough to at least send somebody something like, oh, well, anything with an AR-15 or like anything orange, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, because that's when I was looking through it actually earlier today on the what is that the patch. What's your website?
Patch
Guide
Buyer's
or
Guide.
something?
Yeah, Patch Buyer's Guide.
Yeah, I saw a link somewhere on one of your videos, so I went through, and I was thinking like basically if whatever I wanted, like you didn't have enough of or whatever, or someone else beat me to it, it's like anything that had at least said like SHOT Show, like a specific. Oh, Jesus, sorry about that. My dog just attacked me. But like anything that has like the SHOT Show 2022 or whatever, like that those are kind of cool to have. I like the years. I know some people don't like patches being marked with years, but I like it because it adds to the collection. Then you're like, oh man, I missed 2013, but I have all the other ones. Like, and then that's something you can try and find later and trade with somebody for.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's, like you say, there's some people that only want stuff that's totally has nothing to do with an event or whatever. Yeah.
Because I like some of the ones that were, basically referencing that we missed last year, and then but we do have it this year. I saw one that's like, yeah, we're back or something. Or you're not going to stop us or something.
Mm-hmm.
It was the dude holding up like the Wolverine. I forget what company did that one, but that one was pretty cool.
Yeah, TNBC, the night vision company. They sell a bunch of different night visions. All right, well, so we've got just us hanging out here, I guess. Let me go see if anybody has been putting anything into the Patreon link, and if like that was a response or anything over there. Somebody might have been like, hey, I'm not going to be there, but nope, nothing like that. No messages or anything. No.
I know DJ's out in the YouTube chat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's saying it's anything from Super Bell. Well, if only a couple of people ask for stuff, it should be easy enough to remember. But like I say, that's not fair. So we'll. This was just an opportunity to do something on a weekend instead of trying to do it during a weekday in the middle of the week or something like that, or during the middle of the day on a weekday. So, yeah, I had no idea if 10 people would show up or 100 or 1 or in this case 5-ish. So I don't need to go through them all again, but I guess we'll wrap it up. And like I said, I'll make some sort of list, or I'm not going to say some sort of form. Let people go through and pick a couple of 4 or 5, and then I'll help or use that to help get stuff out there. Maybe I'll put in a couple of catch-alls like anything blue or anything red or anything white or anything black and white or something like that, or anything with a flag on it. And then those can be kind of catch-alls that'll help me out with people that just have a general interest or general.
Can I get anything made in China?
Yeah, see, that one would be super.
Geisley.
Didn't that fall under the category of like one of everything?
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much all the stuff that would happen.
I know. I watched your swag video earlier today, and I always get a kick when you going through and you have very honest opinions on things, and I enjoy that.
Well, it's the benefit of not having,
you're like, what is this crap?
not having to have sponsors. That's always nice. All right, well, we get a double dose of Locked and Loaded this weekend. They're going to be live in 80 minutes and tomorrow. And G23 is going live with New York Outcast. I don't know how that's a guest, but he's got him on the thumbnail. Well, let's see, what is today? Nope, it's the 5th, so I don't know why we're seeing that show up. Yep, so we got about 20 minutes before G23 goes live. Nobody's saying anything, and I'm getting freaking cold. What's it getting so cold in here for? Got to go buy a battery here. So I'm waiting for money to move around in the account so that I can have enough to go buy a battery. I'm putting it on the credit card. So I guess I'm going to wrap it up and go start shopping around for a battery. Hopefully they're not super expensive. Hopefully they're super cheap right now because lead is so cheap and power is so inexpensive. Plus, they're using them on all those electric cars, so batteries are super easy to make now.
Yeah, maybe you can find some reject batteries that are discounted.
No, I want good ones, but just hopefully the economies of scale are making it so that batteries are pennies on a dollar from what they used to be. We'll find out.
Are these for the battery for the van?
Yeah, just the starting battery. It won't start anymore. I have to keep charging it every day to get it to start now. So it went down to like 29 one night and then under 30 a couple of times. So that was enough, I guess, to just knock it out. I can charge it. Like if I went out there and started it right now, it'd probably start again. But after it gets a little bit colder out, it'll quit starting and then it'll die all over the night and I have to charge it in the morning. That's going to be annoying. But mainly I'm afraid to go anywhere because I don't know if it'll start when I get to wherever I'm going.
You got any kind of like volt gauge on your dash?
You mean like a meter for the battery? Yeah, it'll say that it's around, well, it'll be fine until, it goes to start and then it won't have any juice.
Like it's just the battery. It's not an alternator problem or anything.
Oh, yeah. It's just a battery. I'm pretty sure it's the battery I've had in there since the beginning, right? So I'm almost positive it's just the battery that was in there. So it's, an unknown amount of years old, probably the post office's battery. And I don't think they put different batteries in it when they sell it, but I don't think they put in a bad battery when they're getting rid of it. It was probably just whatever battery was in it, but it was on whatever schedule lifespan it was on whenever they decommissioned the van. And the guy I got it from didn't do nothing. So like I say, it's probably just, only had X amount of life on it anyway. And now I've used it for however many years. Did I put a new battery in that van? I don't think so. So anyway, it'll be the first time I'm buying a battery. My car is super slow to start on the coldest days. Yeah, and the thing is, it's a van motor, 3.8 or whatever, so it needs some amount of charge to get it going. But it charges quickly. It doesn't, it charges like in an hour or something. It's not completely dead, but at the same time, I'm not going to be all that interested in having to get a jump every time I go to a store or something.
Yeah. That just tells me it's just the battery's age. It doesn't like the cold. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's just old. Well, what happens out here, I'm guessing, is sitting around in the heat ain't no fun for a battery. And then every once in a while it gets cold. So the cold is what kills it, but I'm sure the heat is what knocked it down. And living through all this heat for a couple of years was enough to basically so that this cold was enough.
What's your average temp out there?
But normally what happens with batteries is the heat ends up like killing the capacity, but you don't really notice it until you try and start in the cold, because you need more cranking amps to start in the cold than you do when it's hot.
Right. And it's working the other way. Like the battery, we're not helping the battery. We're asking it to do the most when it's got the least ability, right? Like it's trying to just sleep, and we're asking it to get up and do something. Or we're trying to get its juice to move, and it doesn't have no juice in it. But anyway. And it's not a manual, so I am not jumping it to get it going. Doesn't matter. I live on a flat anyway. I don't have any hills here to push it down or something.
Yeah, but you got a dog that can pull.
What?
Get that dog a harness and use it like a sled.
Imagine if I strapped her to the van, she would look at me like, "Oh, you just tied me to a van. All right, well, I'll just stay here.
I guess I'm just sleeping here now. Whatever.
I've just been locked to a van. This is my new house, I guess.
Just lay down right here."
Now, if I was walking and slowly like hooked it up to the van, she might, but I don't let her pull. If she probably would have been that kind of dog if I was the kind of person to let my dog pull on me when I'm walking her. She probably would have pulled, so I probably could have tricked her. But she walks behind me. She doesn't ever get to pull on me, so or pull on the leash or whatever. So I don't think I could even trick her into pulling anything. However, I could probably get her, if I had like a wagon or something, I could probably get her to start pulling. I'm pretty sure she's got that tendency, that nature. She would like it. If she would listen and go where you want her to, that'd be tougher. She'd probably be a good pack. Like she'd be good in the middle of a sled thing. She would not be the kind of dog you'd want to have lead it, because she has no ambition at all. She would just not want to ever walk. She'd be like, "Oh, let's all rest here. Oh, I'm in charge. Let's rest." Or just walk around.
When I had my other Huskies, I was the same way. I didn't want them pulling if I'm just going for a walk. But we did have like an actual harness for them. So a regular walk, I just like hook up to their collar. But if I got my rollerblades out and the harness, then they knew it was okay to pull. They would love that. And even not like just pull me around, but they just loved being able to go a little bit faster.
Yeah. And not have
trotting speed
all the time. Yeah.
So
I thought about that, but she wouldn't. I don't think she's much of a runner. Maybe if I had her longer and I've been running her the whole time, but probably be bad for her now to just start running.
Well, and you'd probably have to go either early morning or late in the day when it's cooled off a bit.
Well, yeah, that's a whole other thing. And I'd use a bicycle. There's no way I could rollerblade or nothing. Not totally sure. Let's see. They shut down all of the checkers, I think. So that means there's O'Reilly's.
Now, do you use any kind of like power inverter or anything for in the back?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say this the standard. So I don't know how you have anything hooked up, if it's just through cigarette lighter ports inside, or if you actually wire anything to the battery.
Yeah, it's wired, but it's basically the cables. So they're just attached to, it's part of the cable. So it's just a matter of swapping the battery out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, how do I get to motorcycle? I don't want a motorcycle. I'm going to O'Reilly to try to figure out what they're going to suggest for a guess it's a 3500. I don't know what LS is, so I'm going to say base. And it's 5.7 liter V8. How does it know I need a battery?
Time of year.
Yeah, it's probably just throwing up a battery for the time of year.
Probably needs a 78 series.
So battery. All right, so it looks like what is this? In order of relevance, let's go price low to high. Looks like they start out. They gonna give me a price? What's up with this? There's no prices. Select store to see pricing. I gotta select the store. So I will pick. Come on. Well, I got 2 stores I can pick. I'll pick the one that's that one. They should have the same hours, I guess. Okay, set that as my store. $119, $159, $160, $189, and then $200 for a fancy gray one that says Superstart Platinum. I don't think I need all that. So looks like I can get a Superstart Economy for $119, or a Superstart Premium for $159. So they say group size. I don't know what that means. What's that group size all about?
What's the series battery? It's either 75,
78.
Yeah, 75 or 78. 78's a bigger side post battery.
Okay. But it looks like they're all 75s or 78s or 34s or 86s. I don't know what the difference is, but
yeah. The 75, I know for the 75 and the 78 are only side post. The 34 and the 86 should have both side post and top post.
Yep, that's what it is.
So that would make it easier if you were hooking up auxiliary things like the plow on my truck. I have I think a 34 series that's side and top post.
Yeah, that's the one that's looking like 159 for both sides and top. That's probably what I'll end up with. 159 plus core of 22. But it looks like they got them, so I can just go over there and buy it, swap it out, put the core back in the store, and be done with it.
Yeah.
I might go over there after this and just get it over with. Well, I guess I would do that, but I have to wait for money to move around. If I got enough money in the one credit card, I'll just go do that and then go pay for it later. But yeah, it looks like otherwise then you get up to Superstart Extreme battery group, same size and everything, but costs $30 more for no reason. And then get up to 180, or I guess 200 for a Superstart Platinum.
A lot of that comes down to material. At that point, they're not lead acid anymore. They're the absorbent glass mat, like a Optima battery.
Oh, is that what a platinum will be? Like the fancy glass battery?
It should say like AGM.
No, I guess I have to get up to 224 because then they turn into a different look. These are the AGMs, I think. Well, maybe, I don't know.
We went through Sam's Club because they had them for about the same price. I could get a gold series battery. I could get the platinum series. They stand up to the cold a little better.
But a platinum series will be a glass pack or whatever?
It should be under your where it says like material and stuff. It'll stop saying lead acid. It'll say should say absorbent glass mat material, which is the same stuff that they put inside the Optimas. They just don't have them in that like 6-pack configuration.
Yeah, they just don't look like.
Yeah, it looks like a standard, just a big rectangular box.
I guess they don't really show you on these. Oh, yeah, here we go. AGM battery located in battery compartment.
Yeah. They usually hold a little more cranking amps. Stand up to the temperatures easier, a little better.
So the question is it worth another $40 on a $200 thing? Well, either 160, get a regular battery, or 200 and get the AGM. I've never had an AGM, so I don't think I'm going to bother. I mean, I've had it for a while now. I've driven it all around and never needed it.
Yeah, I only got one because I'm running the plow on mine. And that takes up more power whenever I'm using it.
Let's see. Getting sort of unhappy about a lack of sub $100 ones. But you can go get. I can go to a junkyard and get an old battery for less, I'm sure. And I probably could do that if I really wanted to save some money, but probably won't. Rather just get a new battery. But I've definitely bought old batteries before. And I think I used a junkyard battery for the back because that's a deep cycle battery back there. And I had two. And I'm pretty sure I got a junkyard battery, and that's why it fell apart. But I don't know. Because I had two back there, and one of them crapped out, lost a couple of cells, I think. And then, so I pulled it out of there. But DJ is saying getting like a 24-month 600 something CCA to help mine limp along towards full retirement would be nice. I don't know what 600. Oh, I see 600 CCA. So this one that I'm looking at is an 800 CCA. And then a bunch of them are 700 CCAs. I don't know what CCA. Oh, cold cranking amps probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the one I'm looking at has got as many cold cranking amps as the big fancy ones, and it's only $150, so that's even more reason to get it, I guess. And so I kind of figured it'd be about 100-something bucks. So at least it hasn't gone too crazy for a battery.
It hasn't been too bad.
I mean, it's not the kind of thing where you got to need a battery all the time. So they're not going to, well, I guess they could, but it's not like they're going to double them. And as far as things go, there could be probably something that's easier to fiddle with. I mean, on a van, it's not 100% easy, but definitely not as bad as other things could be to mess with.
No, battery on that's relatively easy. Even if it's not like a tune-up on that can get a little fun.
I had to, whenever I brought this thing, I bought it in Phoenix, brought it home Jimmy helped me drag it home because I had brought the cop car up to Phoenix to buy it. So Jimmy drove the cop car home and I drove the van home, and then put it in the driveway, went to start to drive him back to Phoenix, and then the starter was dead. So I had to go buy a starter, swap out the starter, drive to Phoenix and drop him off and drive back to Tucson with it. So literally the first thing that happened was the starter went out on it. But pretty much click, 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 and drop a new starter in. It couldn't have been any easier, really. Didn't even have to jack it up or nothing. Well, all right, we're about 40 minutes in, and we're about 5 minutes from G23 starting his up. It looks like he's going to have New York on there. Talk about firearm stands, probably. Otherwise, we'll make that form so people can figure out what patches they might want from the list. And we'll say thanks for showing up. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out for a bit. And well, there's G23 out there. We'll wrap it up. So I'll throw the link out there again if anybody wants to hang out for an after chat. But more than likely, I am going to head over to the checker or whatever it is that I look at, O'Reilly, and grab a battery. I'm pretty sure I got $150 on one credit card. There's the link, though, if you want to jump in. Otherwise, thanks for showing up. We'll be back to pick you up later.